So I kind of want to start with talking about the team and the way that you guys have all come together in the last year or so. Fnatic has been made up of a lot of different members over the years. So what do you think makes this squad particularly successful or better than previous iterations of it?
I think we have a pretty solid lineup, and we have like a good idea of how we want to play the game. We're in the same page. That's why we're like doing good.
Universe, you've left successful teams before to play for other teams and get new experience, and you've said that you really value that. Why is it important to you to try and get more lessons as an individual and find different experiences?
Well, it's always important to try and grow as a player, I think. I mean, when I left, I guess some people would think of it as a successful team, but at the time, I think we had like a lot of internal struggles. Like personality-wise, we weren't meshing, and it was really difficult to be on the team for me at that time.
In general, would you guys agree that if a team is having some struggles internally as far as the dynamics and communication, does that typically come out? You can tell in the way that they play, or are some teams really good at kind of separating the two and compartmentalizing?
I think it depends. I've seen teams where, you know, they're like screaming at each other, and then they play a match and everything clicks, you know? But then I've seen teams that you can visibly see them tilting in game.
You've been around Dota a long time.
Apparently I have. Apparently I'm the oldest.
Do people keep telling you that and you're like, yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure next year they'll start telling me that. Because I'm the oldest carry player.
You seem to evolve very well with the way that the game has changed and the way that the pro scene has changed over the years. What have you noticed?
Well, I think people are playing way better than they did before. I think people adapt way faster than before. But nowadays, I feel like all the regions are like kind of mingled together, and everyone immediately studies each other and immediately has counters for each other. I think the game is taken way more seriously than before.
What is it about the TI stage that can cause the greatest of teams to not play up to their potential and teams that are considered the underdogs to just kick ass?
I think this tournament, like more than any others, has like a huge amount of pressure behind it. Like you play this entire year, and you could get like last place at every tournament, but you do well at TI, and it's a successful year. Some of the best teams, you know, when they get to that pressure, sometimes they falter. And
doesn't it mess with your brains a little bit? How do you just kind of stay focused on what your goal as a team is?
I don't think you should have expectations for like who should beat who. Like when you go into the group stage, you should just take it like one game at a time. Even if you're playing like what you think is the weakest team at the tournament, you know, you honestly never know what could happen. So you just have to be like very focused and take it game by game.
What do you think you've accomplished that you are most proud of in this season so far?
It was actually, we were playing qualifiers for majors, and we played 2 best-of-5s against TNC in one day. And so we lost the first series 3-0, and then we lost the next 2 games of the next series.
Wait, did we do that really?
Yeah. So we lost 5 games in a row, and then we came back and we won the next 3 games to qualify for the major. I thought that was really tough.
Yeah, that was. I know your mind. Yeah. That was not the same type. Like those 3 wins we got, those were like scrappy wins.
Right.
Yeah. The other wins were like more clear. Those 3 we got, like those were hard-earned wins.
Yeah, scrappy wins are tough though. Like you have to be working together well as a team to pull those off.
I mean, it's kind of
gave it our all.
How do you keep the momentum when it's good, especially because we've been talking about the pressure of TI, how it kind of can contribute to people's downfall. So if you get a good momentum like that again, how do you plan to kind of keep your confidence level up?
You just have to be so focused. Like you can't think about like, oh, like we might actually win. Like you never know what's
you get a draw and you're like, oh, I'm so happy we got this team.
Yeah, it's kind of like a balance you have to strike, you know? Like you can't get too overconfident, but you don't want to, you just have to keep doing what you're doing, taking it game by game.
Who are the teams that you are most excited to face? Kind of show off your skill. Or are there any teams you're afraid to face?
I mean, it's both, I think. Like the scary teams are the most fun to play generally. Like the good teams. I don't know if scary is the right word. It's basically the top 3 DPC this year. So VP, LGD, and Liquid. Like, I think we played Liquid first, so that's going to be pretty fun.
Who helps you most stay focused when you're in game?
Universe is probably the most consistent.
Yeah.
Like Universe and Envy, kind of. I think Universe usually has the correct idea. Like if he snaps a little, you know, you're probably going to focus up.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. And best of luck.